And what are the things that need to get done in order to be able to move towards that? Who do I need to become? And it was this understanding and starting to learn about executive dysfunction, neurodivergency, ADHD, because the things that got me to a multiple six-figure business, the things that got me to 3 degrees, the things that, and the woman who got me to 3 world titles isn't able to take me to where I want to go next, which is becoming a black belt world champion. Is building a movement with millions in funds to fund that movement, that legacy, that calling, to becoming a woman who moves at the pace of peace and trust, who is able to be her own purpose and take from country what she needs to show up for her family, her love, her life, her leadership, and her legacy. That when I show up for that life, that love, that legacy, and that leadership, I am well within myself. That self-care is a responsibility, that being well is not an afterthought, that being well and strong and stable is not, self-care is not a luxury. It's a responsibility. And I own my shit. I show up and take responsibility, but I also build trust that I'm going to show up for myself. So looking at breaking this down, I was like, well, I've been trying to do a budget. I've been trying to understand my finances and financial literacy and building a business plan and not winging my way to success and not just betting on my raw talent, but now becoming a master. Kung Fu Panda, 100% my journey. Moana and Harriet are the 3 journeys that speak to me, and Madam CJ Walker are the journeys that speak to me if anyone wants to go and check those out. And sitting here, I have so many unfinished pieces, projects, tabs on my computer, things that I was going to do when I got to a certain point. I've closed those tabs and I'm starting fresh. I'm starting with a blank page. I'm bringing with me all the history and the strength and the wisdom that I have. And I'm giving myself permission to start fresh here. To not try to bring everything that shoulda, coulda, woulda, released it. And I'm working from what is the done good enough version of that next step to address what needs to be addressed, but also to lay the foundations for the dreaming and the woman to become possible. And over this weekend of ceremony and corroboree and culture and deep yarns, I finally finished a basket that has been sitting in my weaving. I literally have tens of pieces of these, if not hundreds, that are sitting just unfinished, pieces that I've started weaving on the river and just never got around to finishing. So this is my done good enough version of my weaving, and I'm going to stick this in my office as evidence that I can finish things. And I have been working and learning from another woman, Giselle Beaumay, who is on YouTube under the Neurospiritual Method, I believe, around shifting your identity, and that your reality is directly connected to your identity and who you believe yourself to be, and that we move from the world, our behavior, the things that we do, the life that we have is all comes down to who we believe ourselves to be. And I've been doing a lot of identity work from her teachings and in her community over on school. And it wasn't until I met or found Giselle's teachings that I started to understand the level and the power of regulating my nervous system, of allowing myself to create safety and stability in my body first. I understood this intuitively because of what I've done in the past in terms of jiu-jitsu and my dreaming and connection to culture, but I'd kind of lost that practice over the last couple of years. And instead, I started to regulate my nervous system. I started to connect with that next version of myself, who I need to become, my I became statement. And then I was like, what is the next action that I can start to build that evidence base for myself, not belief. The belief will come through taking action. Clarity will meet me in momentum. And that's why these weaving pieces were so important, because I was like, well, creating time for culture isn't a luxury, it's a responsibility. And I know that practicing and living with culture will help ground and guide me. Finishing things will build trust with myself and my and safety within my nervous system to go, see, I can show up for myself. Becoming my own purpose and taking from my ecosystem, my country, what I need to be well and strong isn't a luxury, isn't a nice to have. It is a responsibility, because everything that I want for my life, my love, my leadership, and my legacy come through me. I am the source. I am the seed of that.